I've struggled to be a whole person rather than half of a whole, because we'd been together for so long and best mates for so long, and there I was trying to function on my own without an ear to, chest something out or ask about, and that was tough. And that's when I got in touch with Legacy. And although I don't know a lot of people there yet, I think I was about 8 months after Warren passed, where I went to my first Legacy meeting. And the room was just full of lovely ladies, all looked much like me. They embraced me. It was lovely. And I thought, I'm going to be okay. I've got all these people that are going to help support me if I need it. It felt wonderful. Yeah.
Legacy came out here to this house that we built together, and they sat with me and explained what they could do and how they would help and what they wanted to do to help us young widows. I didn't know how many there were. I didn't look into what being a widow was until after. There was so many different supports out there, and it was so reassuring to see other people's ramblings of how they were coping, whether it was their first couple of weeks or whether they'd been like that for months and years.
I got a message on the phone to say, you need to come up to the Townsville hospital. There's been an accident. So anyway, I hung the phone up and I thought, by what you've said, whoever is in hospital has passed away. And they put us in the triage in a room with no windows, which says a million words to me. Anyway, this little doctor came in and she's halfway sitting down and my daughter said, my dad's dead, isn't he? And she said, well, it's not quite how I'm wanted to tell you. She said, oh, so with that, she picked up her bag and off out the door. I thought, oh. And I just sat there. I was just absolutely dumbfounded. I didn't know what to say or what to do, because it just sort of hit me like that. It was absolutely, devastating.
My name is Jane Donkin. I was born in Ingham and I grew up in that region until the age of 26, when I married Rob Donkin, who was a Vietnam veteran. It's 10 or 12 years I've been an actual legatee. Rob's been involved for about 20 years, but I used to just help out, with whatever was required.
Well, Ernie passed in 2014 from cancer. Legacy has been very good to me because they, a couple of years back now, the Army used to do volunteer, send people out to help through Legacy, and they'd come out and clean out, because I have a very big yard and a lot of bush, and they cut it all back and really did a lot of work. And, they brought out one of those massive big trucks and took away all their trees, bits and pieces that have fallen down over the years. There are a lot of older women in Legacy, and they really seem to appreciate all the time or sometimes advice that you can give, and they just love the friendship.
So I went and had coffee with Nick, and I liked Nick. She was bright and she was bubbly, and she listened, and she said to me, we have these meetings, blah, 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 why don't you come along? So I went to the first meeting, and I made myself a promise that I wouldn't quit on the first go. I'm not much of a quitter. That I'd go back and give it a second try. So I think I went back. I went in the October was my first meeting. I went in November, and then we had the Christmas party where we all dress up. And I love a good dress up. My husband loved a good dress up. It was great. So I went to the Christmas party, And that was a real turning point for me with Legacy. I think I managed to get seated at a table with some of the ladies where, you know, they're the people who understand that you haven't slept through the night since your husband died. That, you know, this is, the last post is triggering. For a lot of us, the last post was something that was played at our partner's funeral.
My legatee, Rob Donkin, and his wife Jane are very special. They, strangely enough, they only live a couple of doors up from me now, but they are good people. They come and see me, you know, if they say to me, and every time Rod comes, he says, "Is there anything we can do for you?" They're only too happy to help me.
Legacy come out and talk to you and ask you if you've got any problems. Is there anything they can help you with? And were you happy? Are you depressed? Or those type of things. And do you need to speak to anyone special? Do you need transport and things like that? The lasses at the office are very good. When you ring up, they're very helpful.
It became a social network. So I do go to the Laurel Club every month. Very grateful. My bosses are very, very good with that, actually. My bosses are very good about anything I have going on with Legacy. I can take the time off work, whatever will make it work, you know, that they realise what an important part it plays, because you start to make the friendships there. And through Legacy, I've been able to have some marvellous opportunities.
As the wife of a Vietnam veteran, I'm able to understand what these amazing women go through, how strong and brave they all are. It's good to be. I myself am very passionate about supporting mothers and children who live quite often thousands of miles from their families and don't have any family support. They're on their own, dealing with very difficult situations. And we come along and we spend time with them, listen to them, have a cup of coffee, make sure they're okay, visit them in hospital when needed.
It was in that first year, out of the blue, Nicole from Legacy called me just to check in. And it was a hard week. It was around the kids' birthdays. So they were checking in and they give a little bit of money to help the kids for the birthday presents. And if I needed help for the school fees or their activities. And I said, I really need help. It's Lucas's birthday and everyone's so busy. I bought him a jungle gym because I thought he would like to be outside and doing these things. And his dad would have loved it. But I got to put it together. It's like I've bitten off more than I can chew. And I didn't know what to do. And she's like, I'm happy I called. I can help you with this. I was like, what do you mean? I'm just complaining to you because you're someone to listen to me right now. She's like, no, this is something I can actually help with. And the next week, she gave me a call. She's like, when are you home? I've got 2 army guys that are going to come out and build this for you. Oh my goodness, you can get this done? Because I had no one to help me build this thing. I'm pretty handy, but it was beyond me. I couldn't follow it. And so the army checks in with her every so often and they say, we've got men, strong, fit men. Do you have any jobs for them? And so these 2, I'm not even sure what they do, but they just came and they built it for me. This big jungle gym, and it took all of us to lift it. They built it on the front driveway and they lifted it and put it in the backyard for me. They spent the entire day for me building it for Lucas for his birthday. And I had no idea they could do that for me or help me with it. It was just, needed someone to listen to me that day. And she listened, but she also found a solution for me, one I didn't know existed. It really helped that year.
To help people through grief, I find that you have to be a very good listener. Sometimes all that is required is to turn up and offer a cup of tea, go shopping with them, see if they can be involved in any outdoor activities.
It was the first time, I think, since he'd passed that I'd been to any social function where I didn't feel I had to put on the whole, I'm great, I'm all good, I'm getting there, blah, blah, blah. I'll laugh, I'll make sure that it all looks great. I didn't have to. It was okay to cry and go, oh, yeah, mate, I haven't slept through the night either. And, is this happening to you?
These sort of things take their toll on your family. And it was never really talked much about. It was sort of just, okay, it's happened, we have to move on. And there wasn't the counselling or anything much back in those days, but there was help in other ways. So I was very grateful. It's the little things that matter in life. It's not the big things.
What pleases me is it's not, as I go there, it's not just tea and sympathy. We have a lot of laughs. We have, there are various people with different interests are brought in and give us talks on all sorts of things. There's outings that people can go on if they choose to. There's so much activity to keep people moving, thinking, and getting better. I just think they just need to keep doing, but talk themselves up a bit. Let's hear more about Legacy. Yeah.